Hey everybody, it's Will, aka Pauper Fox, and today I'm joined by Mike and Adrian of the #1 Pauper podcast, Color Commentary. For this episode, we're going to be taking a look at Simic Turbo Fog. Let's start things off with Adrian showing us the namesake of the deck.
Thanks, Will. We're playing a full 16 fog effects in our deck. First up, we have the Alpha All-Star Fog itself. Just G will get you no combat damage until end of turn. While not as flashy as some of its cousins, the low cost allows you to play another spell and leave it up on your opponent's turn. Next we have Moment's Peace, which is effectively a fog that always draws you another fog. This is a major workhorse in the deck, because it effectively gives us 8 fogs for only 4 slots. Finally, we have Tangle. Tangle can sometimes be a 2-for-1 due to its ability to make it so creatures cannot untap. It's not as reliable as Moment's Peace, but can definitely catch an alpha striking opponent off guard. Finally, and while not a true fog effect, we also have a 1-of Quiet Disrepair in the main. This card can either destroy an opponent's artifact or enchantment, or we can put it on one of our own artifacts or enchantments and enjoy a steady stream of life over the course of the game. Next up, we have Mike talking about how those cards can actually win you the game.
We're a little low on win conditions in this deck. It's just one playset of Jace's Erasure. Jace's Erasure is an enchantment for 1 and a blue that mills your opponent 1 card for each card that you draw. Now, this on its own isn't that effective, but in the next section we'll see how much card draw can be jammed into the deck. Remember, Erasure stacks for each copy, so you're going to want to get as many of these on board as soon as possible. There are other options out there for mill, but Erasure is a guaranteed card per turn and sometimes even more. Now, on to Will with a card draw that'll really make this engine hum.
In order to ensure we have one of our few win cons, we play a wide array of card draw spells. They consist of 4 Brainstorm, 4 Preordain, 4 Accumulated Knowledge, 4 Words of Wisdom, and 4 Arcane Denial. Not only are these used to find our win con, but they help fuel our win con, since our win con mills our opponent each time we draw a card. Brainstorm is 3 draw triggers for each of our erasures. Preordain helps us smooth our draws. Accumulated Knowledge gets better with each copy cast. And 4 Words of Wisdom is normally something that isn't played in most decks, since it draws our opponent a card as well, but in this deck we don't really care about that drawback because it's another card out of their deck, and our fog effects don't care about non-creature spells. 4 Arcane Denial is in the deck to be a counterspell with added upside. It can also be used in a pinch to counter your own spell for 3 draw triggers. Since you are the countered spell's controller, you draw 2 cards, and since you are Arcane Denial's controller, you draw a card at the beginning of your next upkeep. Alright, so card draw is a great way to find our win condition and fuel it, but it's not our only way to find it. Adrian's got an uncounterable way to make sure we always get our win condition.
Our Tutor package is 3 copies of Muddle the Mixture. Its Transmute ability allows us to fetch a fog effect, a better counterspell, a Jace's Erasure, or even a Quiet Disrepair if need be. It's very flexible in our deck, and at its worst can counter an instant or a sorcery. Mike, tell us a little bit about the lands.
This deck has a pretty simple mana base. Starting off, we've got a full playset of Evolving Wilds and 2 Terramorphic Expanses. These are here to make sure that we're getting the full use out of our Brainstorms, while ensuring our mana is pretty well fixed. Next, we got 4 Seed of the Synod and 2 Tree of Tales. These artifact lands are both potential targets for Quiet Disrepair, as well as helping protect us from Wrenchmind in mono-black decks. And rounding out the list are 5 islands and 3 forests.
Alright, now we have our strengths of the deck. It's a very strong deck versus mid-range decks with removal, or that want to win with creature-based combat.
Our win con is mill, so any decks that draw a lot of cards are actually doing our own work for us.
One of the best parts of this deck is you get to draw a frankly absurd amount of cards.
Now we have the weaknesses of the deck. If we lose our Jace's Erasures, it can make it very difficult to win.
Some decks are just too fast for us to race.
Burn can sometimes just kill us when we don't have any interaction for the spells that they're casting and our fogs are having no effect.
For our sideboard, we are playing 3 Dispel to help our fog effects and Jace Erasures resolve, 4 Scattershot Archers to deal with the dreaded Drake decks and Delver decks, 1 Lingify to take out creatures with annoying abilities such as Atog, Fangren Marauder, and Ulamog's Crusher, 3 Quiet Disrepairs for Affinity, Boggles, and Burn, 3 Fairy Macabres for Graveyard Hate and Drake Hate, and one Raphaelos' gift to get back our Jace's Erasures, Lingify, and Quiet Disrepairs.
Thanks for checking out this deck tech. It was a blast for us to be here this week. Once you've watched this, head over to our YouTube channel to check out our latest episode with Will as our guest. Have a good day.
Thanks Mike and Adrian for helping out with this one. To the viewers, if you are a fan of Pauper or are interested in Pauper, click on the Color Commentary logo on the screen and it will take you to their podcast for this week starring yours truly. And while you're there, please show them some love by subscribing to them, following them on Twitter, and checking out their website, colorcommentary.com. Their content is amazing, their personalities are awesome, and they're a fantastic part of the Pauper community. So go check them out.